All right, welcome back to episode 9 of the No Nonsense Sports Podcast. We are bringing back Ant from 2 weeks ago. Go ahead and say what's up to everybody. Ant.
What's good?
We're going to
Appreciate
start
you
off.
coming back.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I love the non-biasness of him
this is gonna be a good episode.
Yeah, him and Kai we had on last week. I love non-biased fans, but we're going to start off with Ayton going back to the Suns, them matching his offer.
Yeah, just a touch on this quick. It kind of upset me that they brought him back. I kind of wanted to see him go to the Pacers and see what he could do as a number 2 option next to Halliburton. I was interested to see what it would look like with him and their big Miles Teller. I wanted to see what that kind of what that would
supposed to be up out of there.
That's what I've been hearing that too, but I ain't seen him go.
Rumor to the Lakers, him and Buddy Hield.
Right. So I thought this was kind of going into that, but now that they lost the opportunity to get Ayton, are they still going to move off of Teller? And then if you do that, what was the purpose you bringing in young talent and Halliburton? What do you plan on doing with him now? You know what I mean? So it's kind of weird. With this team though, it does kind of suck timing wise. For the Suns, just because the NFC, thinking of the NFL, the West is so stacked that even in bringing in a talented big like Ayton, their window is closing. Chris Paul is getting older.
I agree. I think the league in general, though, not even just the West. I mean, even the East. If you look at
but
it
I'm saying it's hard. I mean, if I was confident in them getting to the West, I'd be confident in them beating the East. I think the West is just better as far as top. Like their tops are better. I think the East is maybe the West is just better. They're more competitive too.
Yeah. Top to bottom they are loaded.
But I don't know. It's just gonna be tough for this. Like I said, Chris Paul's getting older. I don't know if they have the firepower depth wise to compete with some of these teams. So as good as they are, I mean, their window, they might have a year, maybe 2 to maximize getting the most out of this team. But those are my thoughts on it. Yeah,
I wanted to see him move on and go somewhere else. Like I thought the Pacers would have been a good fit because honestly, I had him being a number 1 there. In my opinion, I think we've kind of seen the peak of the Suns group, but you never know. I'd like to see CP3 get another deep run and a chance at a ring. But like you said, that window is closing. So I guess we'll have to see if they can figure some things out, maybe sign another vet or something, make some moves. I guess we'll just see how it plays out.
Yeah, it's still early in the offseason, so they can do something.
I mean, the list is shrinking though. They're running out of players. I mean, who would you guys say the best available now? Maybe Bridges. I haven't heard any news about him if he's even going to get signed.
I mean, if anything, he's re-signing with Charlotte.
Yeah, we don't care about felons in North Carolina, so he's come back here. You know what I mean? Honestly, it's a bad time for him to be in the trouble he's in. It's fucking contract year. It's like it doesn't get worse than that. And then him being on social media, the way all the Hornets play the way all of them are with him, LaMelo, and then
he's maybe drinking lean on
that's what I'm
IG.
saying. Like you can do stuff like that, but then when it comes time for payday, you got to be ready to not get paid. Like
because that's a part of it. Often
you got to
walk the walk.
$100 million.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying. You got to be able to walk the walk though. Like this, like as much as this is just like it's their job, right? Playing basketball is their job. That's their profession.
There's more that comes with it.
Your public persona. Media. Yeah, exactly. That's almost as big of a deal as how good you are on the court. So I don't know. But how did you feel about the Ayton news, Ant?
Well, back to Bridges. I know he ain't going back to Charlotte. They said they're not gonna match it. He wants a max. I heard Detroit wants it, and they say they don't.
I saw that.
Yeah, they don't care what he's doing.
He put it in a rap and all that.
Yeah, but when it comes to Ayton, the thing about it's more. I think the Suns. Honestly, man, I'm not a big fan of Ayton, especially because the amount of money they had to throw at him, and with Chris Paul, I think those years are behind him. I think you're gonna see a decline in this team. And then
I was disappointed in him in the playoffs.
I agree, but that's
he's
father
always
time.
Hurt in the playoffs.
Yeah, that's father time. And then I'm also reading that they may overpay for Cam Johnson. His contract's over, so I'm like, man, he ain't a nobody, so don't overpay anything from
Right.
Cam Johnson.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of Odell. I honestly, that's one reason I didn't like them signing Ayton. I thought when the Pacers offered him that max, that was him walking. Like that was it. I didn't think there's a shot in hell that Phoenix matched that contract. I've been saying that for 4 months now.
How much
I
did he
didn't
get?
think
How
that-
much did he get paid?
it was
How
like
much
100
was it? Do you
It was
guys know?
133, wasn't it?
133.
3 years or 4 years?
4, I think.
Wow.
I mean, I'm pretty sure they only did that to try and get Durant there. Durant is on a
Yeah.
4-year, whatever the fuck
Okay.
they owe him. So if they get Durant, Aiton's got to go. So that's my
Yeah, but
thought.
it's not just Ayton, and I don't think they
Yeah,
do that.
Yeah, I mean, Bridges is out of there too.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. That shit's
Durant's going
I
back
mean-
to OKC. Just letting you know that.
Durant staying in Brooklyn,
Just
and
hit it.
I'm willing to
Just
put
hit it.
whatever on it. Durant staying in Brooklyn. Him and Kyrie both. We ain't
No,
going
no
fucking
chance.
nowhere.
No chance, bro.
Watch it.
Durant back to OKC. Pin it.
That'd be fire.
I've heard that. Heard that.
That's the
Yeah.
only place he can go where I won't hate him.
Yeah, they got like $1 billion first-round picks. They can throw the
Yeah,
house
no,
at him.
he's something else.
I've been lost the love for KD.
He
bro.
loves wanting to go to these
Number
seed.
1 seed. He's like, hey, you guys are great. Let me make you the
The
best.
list: Miami, Phoenix.
Yeah.
Those are my desired
Fuck
locations.
off. Yeah,
Yep.
I'm so done. I've talked about him so much in school recently, just because we've had to do so much shit revolving like basketball and top 5 lists. And I've seen so many people put him up there, and I'm just like, bro,
I've never seen him in the top 5. Never.
No, not all.
Unless it comes
active,
to scoring.
Active.
You mean
okay,
active?
active.
Active players. He's in top 5, but bro, he will never be in my top 5. I hate this man. Anybody who does not have confidence in themselves to lead a
So
team
do
as
you
the number
do you
one,
hate
no.
him more or Dak? Because you strongly dislike Dak.
I hate KD more. I think Dak is just so overrated. I don't hate Dak.
Yeah,
I just think Dak
we'll get into that.
people think Dak's a top 10 quarterback and he's not. And it pisses
So
me off.
I have one question then. So do you guys think this team that's assembled right now, the Suns team, do you see them having a chance to win?
No,
No.
That's
No.
That's aggressive. I think they have a chance.
They were quick, right?
don't.
They were quick.
Right.
They
No.
didn't even have to think,
Don't forget
bro.
this team won 60 some games last year.
There
right?
would have to be
Yeah,
mad
last
injuries.
year when the league was more hurt than it's ever been.
So they
Exactly.
are a good enough team to make the playoffs. And once you're in the playoffs, anything can happen. You watch Luka Doncic
Right.
carry a beat up Mavs team with no talent
And
other than
who did Luca beat?
them. Anyway,
Exactly.
you watched him go all the way in to the Western Conference. Like there's a will, there's a way, man. Any team, once you're in the playoffs, can win games. It's all about matchups, and the Suns can do it. Will they do it? No. Can they do it? They have a chance. Obviously, they have a chance. I mean, something could happen. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna sit here and say they don't have any shot. You guys are aggressive, and you guys are assholes for that. They're still a good basketball team. Fucking team won 60 some games last year. No shot.
Yeah, when the league's more hurt than it's ever been. So yeah, I'm not.
All right, so
Um,
let's look at it like this. The Suns will be a top 4 seed next year.
That means
Meaning-
nothing.
Meaning they're playing a bottom 4
Yeah,
seed in the first
The
round.
regular season heroes. Yep.
Same as Utah.
Same
Good job.
Don't disrespect them.
Yeah.
like
So
that.
no, I mean Utah's got to have a chance next year, right?
No,
Why not?
they just
They
lost
just
the best. They just lost the best player on their team.
Dude,
I mean Donovan Mitchell
Rudy
still
Gobert.
and
they're about to lose Dono too.
Yeah,
They're
he's
losing
in talks.
everybody.
He's in talks. I
He's
mean,
like,
I
wait,
feel
hold
like
on.
it's just that time.
I told y'all I wanted that. How the fuck you can get rid of this guy and leave me here? But yeah, no, I can't. I can't.
I
believe
just
y'all
need
said they
the
don't have a
Lakers.
chance.
The Lakers need to make these moves, bro.
I can't. I thought
Did you guys see what Woj said? Did you
No
see
one
what Woj
cares
said?
about the Lakers, Trent.
I do.
What he said?
And
What-
Anthony's the
what
Lakers
Woj
fan.
said?
He just said there's gonna be a big trade that is gonna be happening in the next week.
Yeah.
Whether that entails
It's Kyrie. It's Kyrie and KD.
Nah.
For
Okay, I don't
Anthony, it's
I don't think
Anthony
there's no
Davis.
chance.
It's Anthony
Did he say
Davis,
in
Russell
regards to any-
Westbrook, THT.
The Lakers or just a big trade?
No, with the Lakers.
Oh, okay.
They're trading LeBron for KD and Kyrie.
right. Right.
Oh shit! All right, so go ahead. Let's go ahead and get into this NFC East, man. I'm
I
super.
know you've been waiting a long
man,
time
I'm
for that.
super excited to talk about this.
I feel like you should go ahead and start us off and give us your prediction on Washington.
Yeah,
What's it looking like for the Commanders?
How y'all want to
First,
do it? You want to go
first I
game
gotta
by
ask
game,
you-
or you want to go to whole division?
Just the whole division. But first, I
The
gotta
whole
ask you,
division.
how do you feel about the uniforms
I honestly,
and the name?
I like the uniforms. I love
Not
the
the name?
matte. I love them. Shut up. I love the matte helmets. I love our black jerseys. And during practice, they've been kind of like figuring out alternate jerseys, like mixing and match. Bro, some of these little they got some tough jerseys. We got some tough jerseys. The name, it'll grow on me, right? I mean,
that shit sucks.
Yeah,
Bro,
y'all should have just stuck with the Washington football team.
Yes, seriously.
so the Commanders, I mean, it's not a terrible name. I mean,
It's
I
not a-
yes, it
really,
is.
It
I don't
sucks,
like it.
bro.
I would have. I saw the Red Wolves. I would have been okay with that. I
you
feel like
couldn't
that
do
was
any,
tough.
you
No.
couldn't do anything Wolves related because the Timberwolves wouldn't give up some copyright. That was our go-to, but they wouldn't
In
give some
football,
copyright.
basketball, college, the only team I think that has a worse name is the Pelicans. Like what? What?
Yeah,
Bro,
the Pelicans
the
is
fucking
ugly.
Hornets,
That's
It
a
makes
classic.
sense though.
you're a fucking
Stop.
B. Like, come
That's
on now.
that's a classic. That's a classic.
The Oilers,
That's are they still around?
no, but they were. The fucking Texans, the Texas Texans. That's what we're going
Not
with.
not professional, but Johnny, ain't nothing worse than the Bubblers. I know you know Boiling Springs.
Oh,
Nice.
Their mascot was a big bubble.
yeah.
Yeah, it was different.
I
But
don't know,
proceed,
man.
Donna.
I think as far as the name's concerned, I think the Washington Commanders, it's the first year of the name, so we're not gonna like it, right? It's just it is what it is. It's gonna have to grow on people. But when I
For
look
sure.
at it, I don't hate it, right? Like there are Johnny said the Pelicans. I mean, for me, imagine when the Tennessee Titans became the team. Like you know what I mean? This just names
Right.
take
It
time.
just takes some time.
Yeah, and
Right.
honestly, no one's gonna give a fuck what we're called if we win games. If we lose, the name's going to be attached to losing. The name sucks. We start winning and you start hearing the Washington Commanders more and more on media with good things after it. People will get behind that. So
Basically, y'all got like a fresh slate, like a rebrand, new
that's literally
team.
what this whole offseason was, man. And shout out Ron Rivera, man. Anybody who can try to change a culture with Dan Snyder as your owner, kudos to you because it's not hard. We are in the news more than any team professionally for violating some goddamn law sports related.
You know
This
what's
man has
crazy?
to sit in front of Congress because he lies about ticket sales. He lies about fucking concession sales. He lies about fucking apparel, jerseys. He sexual harassing cheerleaders.
name it.
Like he's literally everywhere you don't want your owner to be. He's right there in the middle of the shit.
I was just reading last week. So they have the biggest stadium in the NFL, but the least
Second.
amount.
Second biggest now, behind Dallas. Dallas Stadium's now bigger than FedEx Field. The new one, Dallas.
Didn't
Field.
see that. But apparently had percentage-wise the least amount of fans showing up to games, and now they're going to be resizing the stadium or building a new stadium, and it will be the smallest in the NFL.
He's trying to move to
June somewhere.
Virginia. He wants to put a casino inside the
Oh, that's fired up.
stadium. Yeah. But as far as that is, so Washington was a top 5 ticket sales team every year they were an organization. Dan Snyder bought the team and we are now dead last. We went from still filling 95% of our seats. And at that time, it's outrageous because we had the biggest stadium and it wasn't close. It wasn't even fucking close.
I mean,
And
that's
now-
a college stadium
yeah, and
that
now
has
it's
30,000 students coming to it. So.
right. And now we just don't have fans. I mean, Dan Snyder has literally done everything he can to run this organization into the ground, and nothing and we can't do anything about it. It's the nice thing about the Packers.
Except
is
win
there's no
games.
there's no owner.
Yeah, that'll change it.
Win games.
Yeah, but it's
Yep.
hard to win games when you can't bring in talent. You can't re-sign.
I mean, we
talent.
say that, but didn't San Diego have this issue? People just aren't showing up to games. They're not a terrible team.
Yeah, but I
Winning it.
think that's why they moved to LA.
Well, I mean, they said just win games.
Yeah.
The
Oh, yeah.
Chargers
Facts.
were
That's
winning
nothing. Yeah,
games.
Philip Rivers gave them 10, 11 wins every year he was there. So your organization has to be willing to help your fans. We have the worst one in the NFL, and I don't think it's close, personally. I don't. But back to the name. I like the jerseys. I don't hate the name. I don't like the name. I mean, there's obviously better options, but for what we did. I don't hate it. How do you guys hate the name? All of you?
I wasn't a fan. Yeah, I feel like they could have kept it with the
I love the
Washington football
jerseys.
team.
Yeah, the jerseys are
jerseys are
hard.
hot.
Yeah.
Jerseys are hard. The Matt helmet's fucking fire.
I could see you guys coming with a mean color rush this year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Sure.
I thought for real, I just think the all black would go.
yeah, them shits are
Yeah.
stupid. Yeah, all right. So I'm gonna go ahead and take
So
us
wins
into this,
wise, yeah. Let me hear something.
go ahead and take us into this division, man. So last place is obviously the Giants, right? I got them going 4-13.
I think we could all agree on that.
I don't know how y'all feel about the
That's-
Giants.
That's what I got them at 4-13.
Do you?
The most they get is 5. But yeah.
I gave them 6 and 11.
Ooh,
This is the most to get is 5. I gave him 6. You gave him 6 wins.
Yeah,
How the hell did you do that?
their
you mess that
schedule isn't that hard,
It's not.
and
They're not
I
that
think
good.
I think that new head coach from Buffalo is going to spark at least 1 or 2 extra wins.
Okay, I like that. Brian Dable.
I ain't mad at it.
Yeah,
I like that. My thing is I think they start very slow because Dable's there. And I think Dable is used to having a talent like Josh Allen, and now he's got a talent in Daniel Jones. And I think that does take time. And what sucks for the Giants, when I was looking at the schedule, I think they're front loaded with easy games and back loaded with challenge. So I think they're going to drop games that they could potentially win early just because. But I mean, in the NFC East, anything's possible. These guys could come out and fucking win the division. Who fucking knows? I personally don't think they're good. I don't like Daniel Jones. I don't think their offensive line's any good. They ruined Saquon Barkley. Kenny Golladay can't stay on the field. Sterling Shepard can't stay on the field. Darius Slayton can't stay on the field.
And they're all good guys. I like
Tony-
all those guys you
Yeah,
listed.
bro, what? And Tony, he don't even want to play in New York. I don't know what the fuck can do. He doesn't want to play there. He wants out. Like, he's like, nah, you're not gonna waste years here. You're not gonna waste my years here. Yeah, when I listed off those names, like, damn, they kind of got some.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they got some
decent
players.
They got some
Yeah.
decent. Yeah, too bad none of them have played a full season their entire career. Well, Kenny Golladay did in Detroit, and then he came to New York, got that bag, and was like, you know what? I'm moving that New York life. I'm gonna go and cool out. I don't like their defense. I don't think they have really anything to. Yeah,
That's it.
I don't think they have anything to talk about defensively. So that's why I have them winning 4. And out of those 4, they can win less.
Are they beating you guys at all?
No shot. No
No.
shot. The fucked up thing is we always tend to lose games we should win. Always. Like, so I think the Giants, if they beat any team, it'll be us. it'll be us. If they do that. I think this division's better than people give it credit for. And I don't think the Giants are competing in it. So 4-13.
well, real quick, Dono, one bright spot. I think Saquon Barkley is going to be a decent fantasy running back. So letting you guys know.
Top
Reason
3?
why?
What's his ADP? What's his ADP?
I'm saying top 8. I haven't looked at his ADP. I'm saying top 8.
I'm saying running back
why-
wise.
Yeah, he's top 8 running back. That's what he's saying.
I'm
Top
going
8?
to say top 8 in fantasy. Biggest reason, I think you're going to see a massive spike in his receptions this year.
Oh yeah, 100%. I agree with that.
If he stays healthy, I see him well over 60, 65 balls out of the backfield.
I think we're gonna see just like his rookie year, where it was like almost 2,300 all-purpose yards, couple touchdowns,
Exactly.
breakaways.
As long as he stays healthy, because I think
Yeah.
their offensive line's so bad, it's gonna be dump offs.
Yeah,
whole time.
it's gonna be check downs. It's gonna be everything. Get him
What?
in open space.
Well, he's coming off that ankle injury. Was it the ankle?
Yeah, it's not the ankle
Yeah.
injury. He just got rolled up on. It wasn't nothing crazy,
Right.
but it was in the
Yeah.
season. They were tarnished. He's already been fighting injuries. Like, get him off the field. Let him get an off season of actual rest. My only thing with Saquon is, and it worked the rookie year. You guys were watching Le'Veon Bell and how patient he was and how he could dance behind and hit a hole and
My
go.
guy.
That's how Saquon is. The only fucking problem is
Plays for the
their
Giants.
line is so goddamn bad that there's never a hole that opens up. So he's constantly dancing back or waiting for something and nothing's there. That's why who'd they bring in last year when Saquon got down? Who came in? He actually had some success running because he's literally got the ball and just went straight and just ran. He didn't try to do nothing.
Is that Penny? Is that this team?
It might have
No.
been. It might have been Penny.
Rashad Penny?
Is that this team?
I don't know.
Rashad Penny?
I can't
Wherever
remember.
Rashad Penny went, he was going off last year towards the end.
I thought that was.
I could be lying.
I thought it was Seattle.
That's who he.
He
That's who
used to play for
drafted
them. Yeah. Anyways,
Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
I-
I couldn't tell you, but yeah, 4-13. I'm not big on the Giants. I do hope Saquon does revitalize his career. If I'm him, I'm not re-signed to New York. I will
No way.
take a pay cut and go somewhere where I can be valued with a good offensive line. I don't care what it is. They are going to ruin him, and he's going to be considered like coming out his rookie year, coming out of Penn State. He was looking like could be the best back we've seen since
A long time.
Adrian Peterson. You know what I mean? So he needs to get the fuck out. Next, I got the Cowboys 9-8. I got Dallas at 9-8, man.
Hey, we're spot on this week.
I think Dallas is the only team in this division that got worse in the offseason. They lost Amari Cooper. They lost Cedric Wilson. Michael Gallup's not going to be their first couple weeks. They lost Randy Gregory. Like, I'm not as big on. They lost Connor Williams, their guard. I'm not as big on Dak as a lot of people are. I think he benefited from the situation he was put in. He had rookie of the year running back Zeke. He's never had a worse.
I remember you saying he's a garbage time quarterback.
Dak 100%. Bro, if you look at his MVP numbers 2 seasons ago, man, they weren't great. They were getting smacked in those fucking games. And then he would throw for 400 yards in the second half because he's down 30-7. Like, I'm not.
Yep.
I need people to actually go back and look at those numbers and like watch the games. Like, seriously, go back and watch the games of his MVP season before he got hurt.
I mean, I can recall him looking very good, especially against, was it Atlanta 2 years ago? They're down because I remember telling, I think
There you go. What are they down?
15, I believe.
Going
I
in
think.
to
24-39 with about less than 5 minutes left.
right, and they had just scored a touchdown to make it 15. They were down 20-some.
Yeah.
Scored a touchdown, put them down 15. In the fourth quarter, you're down 20 to Atlanta. They gave up. I think they won that game. I think
They did.
Yeah, they came back.
I had people.
But those were the situations. Those are the situations. They were in those all year. Mind you, their defense was atrocious 2 years ago. They were bad before Dan Quinn got there. So I'll give him that. But when
I'll tell you this:
when you're down 20 points,
he's a much better quarterback than Carson Wentz.
Oh, he's much better.
He is much. I mean, are we really doing this?
Come on, Donna. Yeah, we can't.
So it's not. I'm not putting Carson Wentz anywhere near the top 10, but I don't put Dak near the top 10. Dak's 12
He's near the top 10.
Dak's 12, 11,
That's
12.
near.
Yeah, right. Carson's 17 to 18.
Nah.
I'd have to dive into that list. I'd have to dissect that a little bit.
Man, but I could pull up all starting quarterbacks right now, and we can go through the fucking list. Carson Wentz is definitely top. Okay, you want to put him 18? He's top 20. So him and Dak are 5 quarterback spots apart.
I like top 20.
I'm cool with it.
20-ish for me.
Was Dak in your guys' top 10? Because that could be the problem right there.
Yeah, he's like 10 on mine.
He's 10 on yours. So see, there we go. We got people who bump their heads and then get
11
on the
and
show.
12.
I think I had him at 11. 11.
Yeah.
Spitting in 10.
Spitting at
He was
10.
close. Yeah, he was close.
I mean, he puts up the numbers that you can argue it. So.
Oh yeah, you can always argue.
Big comeback gear.
You can argue for Dak. 100% you can argue. Like, I argue against that. You can definitely argue for him. I mean, his stats say it. He's a winner. He makes it to the playoffs. He doesn't win playoff games, but the only year they didn't make the playoffs was the year he got hurt. So
You know what's
obviously,
crazy? I
he
just
means
read it
something to that
yesterday.
team.
The Jaguars have more wins in the playoffs since 1996 than the fucking Cowboys.
You know what's funny?
Nuts.
J-Lo has 6 rings since 1995.
Oh, I thought it was 5.
Is it 5? I don't know. She's got way more rings than Dallas. Yeah, it's crazy. I bet she's chasing a bag. But again, I'm not huge on Dak. I think with him losing Amari Cooper, I think a lot of that offense, they kind of shot away from being a run-heavy team and try to be a pass-heavy team. Now they don't have the weapons to be a pass-heavy team. They still have CeeDee Lamb. Yes, they got Dalton Schultz back. Cool. Gallup's not there. Who's their second receiver right now? They drafted some guy in the 3rd round. I mean, he could be all right? But
Nobody.
right, exactly. That's my thing. So you took the ball out of Zeke's hand to put it in Dak's, but then you got rid of Dak's weapons. For
CeeDee's
a guy,
gonna be a breakout.
for a
He's
guy
gonna
that's
have a breakout year.
Yeah, I
Yeah, I
mean,
think my
I
man
was-
Kai was right last episode.
yeah, he called
He
7.5.
said
I
the
think
over 7.5 touchdowns for the CD.
Yeah,
It's a good play.
I was going to break that down for you. I think he is the next big superstar in this league, and the reason why is because they're going to be playing from behind every game. So I think,
Put up stupid numbers.
yeah, I put I'll say this bold prediction: he breaks the single season receiving yardage record for the Cowboys.
yeah,
1603.
that's a bold prediction.
1603.
That's what we
1603.
would call a dumb prediction right there. All right, don't follow that, fellas.
I like that.
1603.
I like
You know
it.
why? Because they got no one else, and he's getting at least 8 to 10 receptions every game.
Yeah, if he's healthy, I could see it for sure.
1603 ain't much if you think about it.
1603 is a lot.
Yeah,
He
no,
said,
for Washington, that's a ton. But
Bro, that's a ton. Don't do that. That's a ton for anybody. It's a record for a reason. Like, don't do that shit, you jackass.
1603. I'm telling you, 1603.
He's not doing it. Period. CeeDee Lamb, like Dak, has benefited from the situation. He's had Amari Cooper next to him. He had Jason Witten, and then he had Dalton Schultz. He's always had Michael Gallup. He's always had Cedric Wilson. He's always had a top.
Don't do that. Don't say
tier
Jason.
offensive.
He was a premier threat when CD
Who?
came in the league. Jason Witten.
Jason Witten might have led the league in touchdowns.
Not
Hey,
when
Cooper-
CD
Cooper
first
was
came
hurt.
in.
what are you
Cooper was
talking
hurt
about?
last season too, bro.
Huh?
Cooper was hurt last season too.
Yeah, well, I brought that up last week. Everyone was hurt last season. So was CD. CD was hurt last season.
But when he was playing, he was balling.
And he was doing all right. But he's benefited from everything around him 100%. I need to see what he can do as the number one option when he's getting boxed, because next year, that's what's going to happen. He's not going to get single coverage looks anymore because he's got Amari, Michael Gallup, and Dalton Schultz out there, and they have to load. They can't back off the box when you still had Zeke and Tony Pollard behind the top 5 offensive line. Next year, they're going to just be like, hey, don't let CeeDee Lamb beat you. It's going to be the same type of coverage that they show Terry McLaurin every fucking week. And I can't wait to see it. I can't wait to see it. Personally, that's just me. You know, I'm a fucking Dallas hater to the death of me.
You really are. And I'm an Ohio State fucking fanboy to the death of me. And that's where Terry McLaurin is from. CeeDee Lamb's a much better receiver. I just don't see how you don't see that.
I don't personally.
We heard his receiver list, bro. So you
Yeah.
should
I
have
mean,
expected this.
That shit was fire, actually. I got big compliments on that list.
Hey, but you left some players a little low. Yeah.
No, I left CD Lamb low.
DK and CD.
Okay, I had
Off
Terry
the
higher than
top.
both of them. It's cool, whatever.
Yeah, shouldn't not the case.
Yeah. You'll see it. Terry's a better receiver. Next I have Washington. 11-6, fellas.
11. So what did your hold up? Shout out
Hold on.
Pop. What did your dad have them as? Because you said he reached.
12-13. Yeah.
Wow. Shout out
Um,
Pops. I had him at 9-8 or 8-9. It was a flip flop for me. Either one.
So for me, and we touched on it 2 weeks ago and when you were here, if we don't win 10 games, it's a bad season for me. Taylor Heineke, toughest schedule in NFL last year, won 7 games with Terry McLaurin as his only weapon.
But your schedule doesn't look easy.
Our schedule doesn't look difficult.
Mm-mm.
It doesn't look bad. I mean, I think if you look at the win rates of last season, Washington literally has the easiest schedule going into next season.
Well, other than the Giants, I mean, you got to play the Eagles and Cowboys twice.
Yeah. Okay. So with mine, and mind you, I think we'll split with Dallas.
And Philly.
Philly's the better team. So that could go either way. And Dallas always, people could argue Dallas and Washington are the same level. So they could get swept by both of them. And that could change the whole season. I had Washington, Philly, and Dallas going 3-3 in the division. I just split it down the fucking middle with us 3 because I don't know who's going to beat who, but I think everybody sweeps the Giants and then who knows what happens the rest of the way. So,
possible.
you know what I mean?
That sounds good. I think they're beating somebody, though. There's no
That's
way
a-
they get swept.
That's why everybody in my division went 3-3 except
Right.
for the Giants, just because I can't give them 3
Can't call it.
division. I
Right.
can't give them 3 division wins. So, that might be a reason Washington's higher than you guys. Yeah, I don't know. Our number 2 receiver last year was DeAndre Carter, right? How many of you guys knew who DeAndre Carter are? How many of you guys know who he is today?
I don't care.
Can't say I do. Yeah.
He's
Right.
fast.
He's fat. And he's a kick returner. He was our number 2
Yeah.
receiver last year. We had no weapons. Logan Thomas was hurt 9 games last year, right? We didn't have anybody. Antonio Gibson fumbled the ball like crazy. So that's why we brought in Alabama running back. I can't stress enough that if Carson can't get us 10, I think 10 wins is the worst we do next year. I gave us 11. If Carson Wentz can't do that, don't pick up his contract. We rebuild. We do what we need to do.
I don't know. I got a bad taste in my mouth. The last time I saw Carson Wentz is against the Jaguars.
Oh, see,
Worst.
I don't have a bad taste in my mouth. That team played terrible. It wasn't just Carson Wentz. The team played bad.
Listen, you're the field general. You can't lose to the fucking Jaguars
Threw
for a
27-7 last year.
Fantastic with the best running back in the league too. You don't have that
And a
anymore.
bottom 3 pass offensive line, pass protecting offensive line. So he did that with no protection. Washington is a top 5 pass protecting offensive line. He's going to have time back there to look at speed. I mean, we got De'Ami Brown, he fast as hell. Jahan Dotson, fast as hell. Terry McLaurin, Scary Terry, fast as hell.
How do you feel about the offensive line?
Ours?
Yeah.
We literally were ranked 6th last year, and we were playing with our 5th string center the last 5 weeks, and we still ranked 5th. So with that being said, we did lose. Now, we're not the same offensive line. We lost all pro guard Brandon Scherf to Jacksonville. That hurts. Like, seriously, like, he was our best offensive lineman, and they put up some crazy ass stat that when he's not on the field, like, our win percentage is like 17% when he's not on the field. Like, he's literally he's an all pro guard. Like, he doesn't get better than him. You know what I mean? He went and chased that bag. We weren't trying to pay him, I guess. I don't know. Maybe he just didn't like Dan Snyder. Who fucking knows? Let me hear you guys' Washington predictions. Let me go ahead and just get my heart broke. And Trent, you said 9-8 or 8-9. What makes you think we don't win 10 games?
Just when I was looking at the schedule, like I said, the Eagles and Cowboys, I think you could either split those or I could have one of them sweeping you, leaning more towards the Eagles. And then just from top to bottom, when I was looking at, I just have some of them teams beating you guys.
Okay, so here's
I'm not sold. I'm not sold on Carson Wentz. I like him, but I just got to see how he fits in with that offense.
Fair enough.
Also, you have to consider every team is going to lose a game they shouldn't.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah.
This is the best offense Carson Wentz has ever played for. And I don't think that's an argument. He's never had a number 1 receiver like Terry McLaurin. He's never had a number 2 option.
What about last year with the Colts?
Who was his number 1 receiver? Michael Pittman? Are you about to tell me he's better than Terry McLaurin?
Bro, I'm saying you said as an offense. I liked Jonathan Taylor, if you look at the year he had.
Yeah, I mean, okay, this is the best offense he's ever. Who's Carson throwing the ball to since he's been in the league? His best receiver he's played with
Eagles,
was Alshon Jeffrey
right
2 years before retirement.
Yeah, he's banged up that whole year anyway.
He's never had a number 1 receiver. So the reason I'm giving Carson as much slack as I am is for 2 reasons. One, I'm a fan and I'm behind it. We needed a quarterback. We had to fix it. Taylor Heineke's not the answer. I think everybody here can agree Carson Wentz is an upgrade from Taylor Heineke.
Okay. Yeah. Also, I love Jahan Dotson, but he's still not established yet, so we can't really say number 2 option yet. So.
Right. Okay, you can say that, but who is his number 2 option in Indianapolis? You have Pascal, right?
Sure.
Yeah. So who was it? Jahan, right? You know what I mean? He didn't have anybody. So even though he's not established, I think Jahan Dotson comes in and is already a better second option than he's ever had. And we know how much this man loves big tight ends. He loves Zach Ertz. We have a fucking 6'6" tight end in Logan Thomas. We have that guy for him. We got a pass catching back. Excuse me. We have a pass catching back. He likes throwing to running backs. We got JD McKissick. We have a offensive line that can protect him. Indianapolis has a top 5 offensive line every year. Quentin Nelson's a big part of that, but it's run centric. They literally were ranked 30th last year by PFF in pass protection. So a lot of this blame getting put on Carson. You try throwing the ball with no one, like when you have no time and no number 1 receiver who can create separation. You know what I mean? I'm giving him slack. 1, I'm a fan. I have to buy behind it. I don't hate the movie. It's better than Taylor Heineke. And 2, that money wasn't going to go anywhere else this season. And if it doesn't work, we don't owe next year. I'm hoping it does. I'm buying in for this year. If it doesn't, fucking scratch it. You tried it. It didn't work. We move on. But where'd you have us winning, Johnny? How many did you have us winning?
At the most 10. I think between them and Dallas, 9 and 8, 8 and 9. But you're going to beat someone you shouldn't beat, and you're going to lose someone you shouldn't lose to. So I could see 10 wins, but I have them 9 and 8.
9 and 8. Okay. What about you, Ant?
Man, it burns the soul to say this, but I actually because I was going to throw some bold predictions in there. I mean, don't bet your house on it, but I actually have the Commanders winning that division this year. And the crazy thing about it, I have them going 11-6. So it's no overachieving division. Nothing's going 12, 13 games.
Right.
I think what you keep forgetting, it's all Carson Wentz. All the dude has to do is manage the game. If that defense can go back to what it was in 2020, I actually think Chase Young could be defensive MVP of the year.
Comeback player of the year for sure.
Yeah, come back with Deron Payne, Jonathan Allen, Montez Sweat. That front.
Can I ask you
seven.
one question real quick? It
Yeah.
was you, right? That
Yeah.
you got Jalen Hurts winning MVP?
Yeah, and I was
Oh,
telling.
we're gonna get into that later.
Yeah.
For
You're gonna
sure.
laugh about this. You're gonna laugh about this, Johnny. You're gonna laugh. But the more the season has kind of built up towards week one, I've actually kind of wish-washed away from the Eagles the more I keep reading. I also saw there was reports that like coaches are asking like beat writers to not be as hard on Jalen Hurts because like in 7-on-7s he's just been dog shit. So I think there's a lot of pressure on the boy. And the more I thought about it, I bought into the hype because what people forget is they were trying to trade him. They were trying to trade for other quarterbacks last season. And if that's your all savior and you're bringing more weapons to him, then what changed? Nothing changed. It's the same guy. So, but back to Washington, the way I look at it, I hate to say this too, because I'm not a Carson Wentz believer whatsoever, but this is the best offense he's ever played in. He has a defensive-minded coach. So, like I said, it's not as much pressure on him to kind of light up the sky.
He doesn't need to score 30 every game.
Exactly. I think they only need like 20, 24 points a game. As long as
you hit it on the head. They just need him to manage the game.
Yeah. I think in Indy, that defense was nice, but I think it was cracking towards the end. And then they were expecting him to do something different.
Look at that Jacksonville game, man. What?
Yeah.
Like they fucking fell apart. And that
Exactly.
and the Raiders game before it wasn't any better. They threw that fucking game.
Yeah, so this is my dark horse. This is my dark horse team in the division. But I'm saying 11 wins is going to win that division. So we'll kind of hold on to saying that they're going to run away with it.
I just can't see it. The Eagles,
So,
they are fucking
I think let's say this. I think the Eagles are best on paper.
Yeah. They're better
But
on paper, 100%.
What most people don't see is that's a lot of pressure to mesh within a couple weeks in the offseason. So that's the biggest thing I'm scared of. If they win that division, run away with it, it's not going to surprise me.
I think if Philly has a veteran quarterback that I trusted, a 13-win season.
Well, I have them at 10.
Yeah,
so it's not like
no, they're not bad. But if I'm saying you give them a vet quarterback that we all had confidence in that roster, I'm giving them 13 wins. Easy.
Yeah, because my prediction is I have the Cowboys at 7 or 8. I actually have them missing the playoffs.
So do I.
I also see Diggs getting exposed a lot this year. What people will keep forgetting is he was an amazing corner, but the dude led up the most yards in the NFL. So it's like
NFL history, I believe.
Yeah.
I think
So it's like
I had the exact opposite take on Trayvon Diggs, honestly.
I actually think his interceptions get because the thing about
I think his interceptions get cut. I think they get cut. I don't think he has half as many, but I think that's because he doesn't get targeted as much.
Well, let's say this in the NFL, I always see people as like one-hit wonders, or you're going to be consistent. This league, they figure you out pretty fast.
Yeah.
So I think this upcoming season they're going to start exposing him pretty fast.
Well, I think he got exposed last year. I think last year he has the ability to get the ball. Like,
oh yeah,
like he's a ball hawk. He can catch, and his team catch. He's a receiver. Like he moved a corner. Like he can catch for sure. And I think quarterbacks are going to try him less. So I think young corners always get tested. Good or bad, you're going to test that guy. And I think next year, unless he's completely beat, you don't try him. Because if he's anywhere near that ball, he has just as good a chance to come down with it as your receiver does. So I think
Yeah.
he gives up a lot less yards, but a lot less picks go with it because I think he gets tested less next season.
Okay, well, I mean, he may be a receiver turned corner, but he's been playing fucking corner for 7 years now. Like,
Yeah,
so,
come on.
He
That
changed
excuse
and
me,
we're,
He changed the corner his second year in Alabama, didn't he?
I mean, he redshirted first. He wasn't a fucking 4-year starter, 3-year starter. He wasn't starting day one.
Right.
But anyway, the Eagles, they just added another. I mean, he's going to get tested. The Eagles brought in fucking AJ Brown. So he's covering AJ Brown or Devontae Smith. He's got Jahan Dotson or fucking Terry McLaurin in Washington.
Or
He's
Curtis
going to
Samuel.
get tested. Fucking
real
Curtis.
fast.
Yeah, no, he's going to get tested, and I believe he will get exposed. He's not going to have maybe
At
a
all.
third of the picks he had
Yeah.
last year.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I said less than half, so I'm cool to third.
Well, I'm just gonna tell you now, Dono. A lot of people are gonna think it's Eagles Cowboys. I think it's gonna be Commanders Eagles, and then I think the Giants obviously are rebuilding. I think they're gonna show flashes with the new coach, but I think the Cowboys are gonna be the biggest disappointment in this. I didn't see them get better at all.
No, that's
So
what I'm
it's
saying. They're the
it's a
only team
matter
in the
of time.
division that got worse.
But I think, like I said, I think they're gonna be playing from behind the whole time, and you're gonna just see the.
So I have Philly winning the division at 11-6 because their division record is going to be better than ours. Like I said, I think they have the best chance. I think they go realistically. I split divisions 3-3, but I think they go 5-1 in the division. I think they'll lose one game. I think they will sweep either us and the Giants or Dallas and the Giants and then split. I think they're better. And they're so run heavy that if they get a lead, Jalen Hurts isn't going to have to win you games. Like their team is good enough where you saw the back half of last year, they can run the ball for 200, 250 yards a game. Like they can bring the Baltimore style offense into Philly and just chew the clock for 40 minutes of a 60-minute game and not give you an opportunity to come back into it. So that's what scares me the most about them. But I'm with you. I think Philly could be the biggest flop next year, and it would not surprise me. Jalen Hurts is a good quarterback, but like you said, last year they were looking to get rid of him, and then it's not like he got better throwing the football at the back half of last season. They just ran the ball the back half of last season. They stopped trying to let him be the guy and just started winning football games.
Well,
So,
I mean, they did bring in the help with AJ Brown now. That
no,
doesn't hurt you.
100%. Yeah, no, and I think he improves this season.
And Devontae Smith having a year under his belt now, he's going to be better. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, I'll let you know this one thing. I sold that ticket because it was like crazy amounts, and I was just kind of hooking my buddy up who's an Eagles fan, put in more future bets. But the second thing I think about it, maybe this is the most biased thing I've ever said, but when it comes to Philly teams as a whole, when the ones that have they're like, yo, this is our season, we're stacked, or the season that
back when they brought in
They
Michael
shit the
Vick.
bed.
Yeah.
Exactly. Or even like the Sixers or the Phillies, like, yo, this is our year. And I'm just like, man, the biggest flop years.
Yeah.
For the amount of times I hear that this is our year. It's
For the
crazy.
Sixers, Phillies.
I'm not that high on them. I'm just high on them to win that division. And
it's
nothing else.
That's how I look at it.
Nothing
Yeah.
else.
They should. Let's say that. They should.
Yeah.
On paper.
But I think Jalen could legitimately crack.
Yeah.
And
He could crack or ball. Like go crazy.
Those are his options, honestly. I mean, even if he doesn't ball out, if they win games, no one's gonna question it. Right? No one's gonna sit here and knock it. He's still young. Like they'll give him chances. They'll give him opportunities to improve. But if he starts out poor,
dude, that pressure.
They play Minnesota week 1. That's not an easy game.
Who's their backup?
Fuck if I know.
Anybody know? Nah, no.
No.
They don't have a decent one.
No, they'll trade for one.
Yeah, they'll get one. Don't get that twisted. They'll bring in somebody. If Jalen does not start the season right, he's not gonna end the season. But they start against Minnesota, and then I think they play Jacksonville, and then they play Washington in Washington. So I don't know. I don't see them starting hot, and I think that's a big reason I have Washington doing well. Is I think we come out of the gates running. Trent, you said you only had us winning 8 games.
I said 9-8 or 8-9. I said
right. So we play Jackson. We play Jackson. I'm going through my schedule because you pissed me off. We play Jacksonville week 1. Should be a
What,
win.
9-8's not respectable? Like, that's how I hate.
No. Jacksonville week 1. That should be a win. Lions week 2. That should be a win. Philly week 3. I'm calling that a win. Dallas week 4. Again, I'm splitting the division. So I gave us the first one. I'll give him the second one. Dub.
I don't
so-
see you guys starting 4-0. Like, I'm sorry.
Okay, so I'll
not.
take this. I'll take the second game from Dallas. Or 3-1.
Right. But some of those games, you could be 2-2 right there. That's what I'm saying. Like,
Okay, so then I'll take the back 2 games, Trent. It doesn't matter.
proceed.
Okay, Titans. Win or loss?
That's going to be a shootout, I think.
That's a dub.
Robert Woods is your starting number 1 wide receiver.
I think your
dub.
guys' defense can contain
King Henry.
Yeah, I don't. That's what it comes down to. I think
Their defense is awful too.
he's about to go crazy this season.
Bears.
That's a
Should be a dub.
Dub.
should be.
Packers.
L.
Dub. They're
L.
overrated.
I think they're overrated too, but I think
They are.
they'll beat the Commanders.
Yep. I'm right there with you.
Colts.
Bro, you're not beating every team though. That's what I'm
Colts.
saying. Like,
Dub.
We're not beating every team.
Dub.
We're not beating Colts.
yeah, Wentz gotta bring that home. That's gotta be a dub.
That's in Indy too.
Yeah, that's a big one. I like that.
Yeah, no, I'm
I like
gonna
that.
coin flip that one.
Vikings.
I'll lie to you. I'm taking the Vikings.
I got the Vikings.
Vikings.
And then so I gave the Eagles the first one. So then Eagles dub, Texans dub, Falcons dub, Giants dub, 49ers.
L.
Probably
Okay.
L.
Cool.
Maybe.
Browns without Deshaun Watson. Dub.
L.
L.
Dub,
Without
dub,
Deshaun
dub,
Watson? Dub.
Dub.
You said L, Trent?
L.
Without Deshaun Watson. Jacoby
I'm
Brissett's beating
I'm calling it. You can write it down. We can bet on this game. You guys are losing to the Browns.
Dallas to end the season. Dub.
L.
I gave him the first one. So now Dallas is sweeping us?
I think you guys are getting swept by one of them. Probably the Eagles. I'm gonna say the Eagles.
Okay.
Damn.
So what's that sit at? What's the win count?
Jacksonville's 1-0, Lions 2-0, Eagles 2-1, Dallas 2-2, Titans you said lost 2-3, Bears 3-3, Packers 3-4, Colts 4-4, Vikings 4-5, Eagles 4-6, Texans 5-6, Falcons 6-6, Giants 7-6, Giants 8-6, Commanders or 49ers 8-7, Browns. You're an idiot for the Browns. Like what? You can't think
Bro,
the Browns are beating
that
us
happens.
without Deshaun Watson.
What did Johnny say? You lose some games that you're supposed to win. It happens.
I
It's
gave you that.
football.
I gave you that with the fucking Colts. We should win that. I
I
gave
didn't
you
say
that
the Colts.
with the
I said you guys are
Titans.
going to beat the
We
Colts.
should beat the Titans.
I said
the
you guys are
40
going to beat the Colts.
The 49ers, I don't see how the 49ers are better than us.
I mean,
Where
they're in the playoffs a lot.
Where
often.
are they better than us?
I think they're a flop this year too.
But they're not doing anything this year. They don't even know who the
Not a-
quarterback is.
I'm not a Trey Lance fan.
Yeah, me either.
But you guys haven't beaten us.
I mean, that's the beautiful
Okay,
thing.
I
This
mean,
is
didn't they
prediction.
just-
me.
Didn't they
Trent,
just play in
Trent,
the,
we can make a side bet on
conference
it. We can make a
championship?
side bet on
We
it.
will.
10 wins.
who did they lose that they just got that bad? Didn't they just play in the conference championship?
Yeah.
Okay, so they didn't get worse, did they?
They didn't get better. Everyone else got better.
Okay. Well, they didn't get worse, and them at a standstill from where they were last year is still better than that Commanders team.
Right, but next year they did get worse. Jimmy G's
Right.
not the quarterback next year. Trey Lance
That
is.
we don't know that yet.
That's the talk.
Right.
That's
Yeah.
the
I mean, we thought Ayton was gone too. We don't know what's going to happen.
That's fair. What was the 49ers record last year when they made the playoffs?
All I know is they beat them
Maybe they had
Packers.
10. Yeah, 10.
Right. Okay. Fair enough. I don't know. I can't believe.
Bro, I
we're
just
losing to the
I just
Browns.
can't believe you're not okay with 9 wins. Like,
I told you 2 weeks ago I'm not okay with 9 wins. I told you that. If
Yeah,
we
well,
don't,
yeah.
if
Alright,
we don't
okay, so
win,
then- so
if we
then-
don't win 10 games, it's a failure of a season, and I will stand
So-
on that.
so
won
is this the
7,
lot?
that's it.
Is this the last shot for Carson Wentz then?
This is 100% the last shot for Carson Wentz.
Alright.
I don't think that's a doubt. This is the last shot for Carson Wentz. As a NFL starter, getting starter money, he might go somewhere to compete for a starting job, like over there.
I don't
in-
know. I feel like you could argue like team needs though, because
Yeah,
I mean,
but I
I
think-
f-
But I think he doesn't get starter money. Like we're paying him 28 mil. He will, if he does not perform this year, he does not see anything like that. He will go for a Mitch Trubisky, Marcus Mariota contract where he competes with a rookie for the starting job. Like that's where he will be if he does not perform this season. But again, if he doesn't perform this season, he doesn't deserve to be a starter in the NFL. He has the team around him to win games.
I think you hit it on the head when we talked. I think it was like last week or the week before that. You said with Heineke able to get 7 wins, if Wentz can't do that, that's a problem.
And mind you, Heineke got 7 last year with the hardest schedule in the NFL. Now, mind you, schedules change year to year because teams get better, teams get worse, right? Like that is what it is. But going into the season, we have the easiest schedule. Now that could change, but for me, looking at it, I'm predicting as the easiest schedule, coming from the hardest schedule. We improved at quarterback. We put weapons around a better quarterback. We're getting a healthy defense back. Last year, we didn't have Chase Young, Montez Sweat. Like, we had a brand new corner, William Jackson, trying to learn the defense. We had no Mike linebacker. Like, we were fucking destroyed. They're all coming back. You know what I mean? And then the only thing we lost is Brandon Scherf offensively. That's all we lost. That's all we gave up. But we're bringing in more weapons. We're getting healthier. We're getting healthier. Curtis Samuel, we'll finally get to see him suit up. I mean, we have a Panthers fan here. He can talk about him. I haven't really watched much of him, but the way they talk about him, I'm excited. The way the beat reporters, the way John Klein be talking about him, I'm excited. So,
was your shit just bugged, or was he really just talking that fast? Like it seemed
like your lips were going crazy.
It was bugging. I was like, yo, what's going on here?
I was kicking it up because y'all got me upset, man. I had to kick it up. We're gonna be I told you, I've been telling y'all since we got on this. If we don't win 10 games, it's a failure. And I'll stand on it. I'm not saying we can't fail, but that's how I'm looking at it. And as a fan, how can I predict us to fail? That's just not. We're talented enough to win games. I just need us to do it. This is Wentz's last shot. I don't think there's another opportunity. I don't think anybody else pays some starter money.
Yeah, it's not gonna happen.
All right, so I got a question for you, Donald, real quick. The only thing that taints me about Carson Wentz is they made such a big play that his head coach was in Indy and they grabbed him. So then why is he not still in Indy?
He's not in Indy because of, I can't think of his goddamn name. Who's the owner of the Colts?
Jim Irsay?
Yeah, that's why. That's 100% why he's not in Indy. He made it out to be this big locker room thing, but his head coach refuses to talk about it.
Yeah, and then another thing, you think Matt Ryan's better than Carson Wentz? Because that's who they replace him with.
Who?
Matt Ryan.
Matt Ryan.
I do. Yes.
I don't know. I don't.
That's the thing that kind of made me curious. Is like, why did they get rid of him?
I don't. I think they're the same guy. I think Matt Ryan has looked better, but Matt Ryan's also had Tony Gonzalez, Julio Jones. Like, he's had these dominant guys that throw. Carson's never had that. So I don't know. And I mean, obviously you could say Matt Ryan, it should sound easy, right? He made it to a Super Bowl. He's done this. He's been an MVP. Like,
but he's old.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I don't know. I think right now I kind of put them both in that 15 to 20. So I don't know. Right. I think they're the same tier. But Jim Irsay is the reason he's out of there. I think it hit Irsay wrong when Carson got COVID. And he told them at the beginning of the season he was vaccinated, but he was never vaccinated.
So he's a liar. You got a liar.
Yeah, exactly. But Irsay made that out to be that damaged relationships in a locker room with teammates. And but they've all came out. Darius Leonard's came out and denied that. Pittman's came out, denied it. Quentin Nelson came out and denied that. Like, Jim Irsay didn't want him there. And mind you, his team, his rules. I mean, I wouldn't want a quarterback that's my leader of my team out here lying to me and the guys. So, but that's why he's not in Indy. And it worked out for us. Truly, I was on the Carson side when we got him. I was excited about it. I might have been the only Washington fan who's excited about it. Like I said, I saw it as an improvement from Taylor Heineke. If it goes well, great. If not, we don't owe him anything next year. We tried it. It didn't work. Like I said, and I said it, we have enough talent to win now. Not win a Super Bowl now.
See, my whole thing is, if they win the amount of games you think they win, 10, 11, and you decide to not pay this man,
Why are we not paying him? If we win 10, 11 games with Carson, we pay him.
Yeah, he'll be there for like 3 more years.
Yeah, we'll pick up the rest of his contract.
yes, yeah.
Because the thing
I
is
want
too,
nothing to do with that guy for 3 more years. Sorry.
why? It's no guarantee. It's no more cap it. So we have him for 5 years. Well, we have him for no, it was a 5-year contract. There's still 3 on it. So we get him this year at 20
I'm
at
not
28
saying
million.
from a money
Next year,
standpoint. I want nothing to do with him as my starting quarterback.
why? If he's winning you games, if it's broke, don't fix it. If it ain't
They're not
broke,
winning
don't fix it.
They're not winning the division.
Why? He's got him winning the division. I have him tied.
Yeah, you're a fan, a
I'll say it's
delusional fan
flip-flop.
at that.
I'll say it's flip-flop, but I don't think it's the Cowboys. Cowboys are not there.
So my thing is if Carson Wentz,
And he said dark horse.
Yeah, dark
if
horse. That's a
Carson, if
bold
Carson
prediction.
Wentz,
Yeah.
if Carson Wentz
So,
wins,
You're
us 10,
a
11
biased
games,
fan and a dark horse. That is
Yeah.
that means
we
nothing to
win
me.
like-
10,
like a
11
lottery
games
ticket.
next year. It's not that bad of odds of us winning this division. If we win 10, 11 games next year, I don't see why we don't bring Carson in for another year. We pay, I think it'll be 25 next year. And then guess what? If he doesn't perform the year after that, we're not tied. Yeah, cut. I'm cool with keeping Carson on the roster as long as they do not renegotiate that fucking contract. I saw fans screaming for it in the offseason, renegotiate his contract, build cap space. Why do you want to be tied to somebody when you don't know, when the last good year you have of him is 2020 or 2018? It's his last good year, it was 2018. Why do you want to tie to somebody for 4 years when he hasn't played well in 3 years? He's shown us he can be that guy, but then he's also shown you, I can be this guy. And then last year he was right in the, I think last year he was probably 15th. He was smack in the middle of the PFF ranking. I'd be willing to put money on it. He was right in the middle of the goddamn quarterback rankings last year. He's had his highs, he's had his lows, and he's evened out. I don't want to lock in with somebody who's that inconsistent. I think what we did was smart. We have him on the roster. If he plays well, great. If he doesn't, fuck it. What's the worst we do next year?
8.
That's the
Yeah, I was
worst.
gonna
That's
say
that's
8.
the worst we do next year.
Yeah, I said 8. Yeah.
Oh, so your guys' ranking is literally us being the worst we could possibly be. That was your prediction. You guys said 8 wins. That's the worst you can win. Oh, you said not Trent. You said 8, 9. So you said
No, I said 8 and 9 or 9. I originally said 9 or 8 or 8 or 9. I said
right, but you're saying
flip-flop.
the worst season we have next year is 8 and 9.
And then
You're
the
saying
best I see is 10, but realistically, I'll give y'all 9 or 8.
Okay. So
All
with at 8 wins, see, I thought you guys were gonna say the worst we could do is like 6. And I was gonna say, and if that happens,
Yeah, no,
you fucking
we went over that schedule. There's no way you guys are.
everyone's
yeah,
gone. Yeah. If that happens, you can't even put it all on Carson.
No.
That means
Yeah, get
something
rid of
blew up.
Dan.
Yeah.
All of them.
Yeah, if we could do that, we'd have been did it.
Yeah.
But yeah. So with that being said, I'm obviously more biased than our guest over here in Ant. Mind you, I think we have a better team than the Panthers, so I'm allowed to be a little bit more biased.
Oh, I agree.
I think we have hope. I don't think you guys have any. But I'm less biased than Trent. Trent's got
I'll
Pittsburgh
tell you
going.
what, your
Trent's got
guy,
Pittsburgh
Kai,
going 9
I
wins.
fucking loved him. That motherfucker, he was the most least or unbiased guy I've ever fucking talked to.
Yeah, bro, and he literally looks at all sports that way. He knows it too because he's a fucking Kings fan. So he doesn't get to talk basketball.
Different.
Yeah, he doesn't.
There's a reason why
He's a different breed.
But when you get Patriots fans, they're all just so high and mighty. They win all these Super Bowls. But then he's a Kings fan too, so kind of brings it back down to
it levels it up.
It humbles him a little bit.
Okay, yo, hold up. I want to switch over to my favorite part of the show, and that is the betting side. So we already got Ant-Man's futures bets, but a couple weeks ago, but apparently he said he got some new ones for us. But it's Johnny's turn. He hasn't given us one. I don't know if it's luck or what, but this man is sometimes like a crystal ball. So let's hear it, Johnny. What you got for us?
One I'm going to say is a lock is a college football one. I don't know why they're sitting at their over under for next season is 9.5. That is the USC Trojans. They just brought in Lincoln Riley. Probably he might be the best fucking offensive play caller in college football. Heisman hopeful Caleb Williams. there's only 2 teams that have a chance at beating them in the Pac-12 next year. It's Oregon and Utah. Even if they lose both those games, that's 10 wins.
Schedule wise, they're still getting 10 wins.
Yeah. I mean,
I like
they still play Notre Dame every year. They lose to Notre Dame. That's 9 wins. They're going to a subpar bowl game. You're going to win that. They're winning at least 10 games next year. So that for sure is my lock.
Does that count?
like
Does
that.
that count bowl game?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
Oh yeah, that's crazy.
First lock, college football. I like it.
Yeah. Second one, I'm kind of iffy on it because it was my lock until I saw today. Like I was literally in the break room and I saw 49ers give Garoppolo the go ahead to seek a trade, but it was Trey Lance under 21.5 touchdown passes next year. I'm still going to stick with it.
It's passing, not just from scrimmage.
It's passing. Passing.
Maybe I need to go
That's
look at
passing.
it again, but yeah.
Oh yeah,
Nah,
under
it's
that.
under
You said
passing.
under?
Yes.
Yeah, definitely under that. 100%. That's a fucking lock and a half. I don't think there's a shot in fuck he throws 21 or 22 touchdowns.
I mean, even if he is the starter day one, Deebo Samuel's likely to be out of there. So that's your number one option there.
Deebo Samuel's weird because they can't pay him until Jimmy's contract's gone. That's why he hasn't been paid yet. Jimmy's eating up $28 million. They could give Deebo some bullshit ass contract, but people are acting like these guys need money. They do need money, but you have to have money to pay them. Like, even though the Rams make the cap look like it's fake, it's a real thing. Like, you have to, I don't know how the Rams do it, but you have to be able to abide within that number. And until Jimmy's contract's gone, the Niners don't have it. So I think once we see Jimmy out of there, you will see Deebo paid. Or Deebo will turn it down and leave anyway.
Well, see, here's my thing. Like, if I'm Jimmy, I'm not going anywhere. Like, even if you want to let this kid start, you still got to pay me my fucking money. Like, I'll sit and ride the bench for 28 mil next year. Like what they're talking
right,
about.
but if they're allowing Jimmy to seek for a trade, that means Jimmy's brought up the fact that he wants to play and he'd rather go somewhere else to do it. I'm not going to say it now, but I can't believe someone hasn't been willing to pick up that contract. It makes me think the 49ers are asking for way too much.
I mean, if you think about it or look at the numbers, he's third in the touchdown interception ratio over the last 3 years, I believe, behind.
Yeah, since he's been in San Francisco, I think, right?
I mean,
his tenure in San Francisco.
He wins games. He doesn't turn the ball over.
He made it to an NFC Championship last year.
In my opinion, how can it hurt you to let this kid play behind the guy for 2-3 years and then let him take over? Because
I said let Jimmy play his contract out.
You just set him up for failure. Say they make the playoffs. You're running into Aaron Rodgers, the defending Super Bowl champs, for Tom Brady, more than likely. And you're going to have a first-year starter doing that? He's still a kid. I mean, it just doesn't make sense to me.
I've been saying that since they brought him in. I think Trey Lance has some of the highest upside, but he has to learn that system. And I think it only benefits to have Kyle Shanahan as his head coach and like play caller, because they get to work off NFL Sundays, right? When you're on the field Sunday, you don't get to work on things. You don't get you do it or you don't. But he gets 2 years of work with Kyle Shanahan and what he can do with this offense behind a guy who's there and can win games. There's nothing better for a young guy who needs to learn things than sit behind somebody who wins games. Because I think Trey Lance is more talented than Jimmy.
Oh my God, yeah.
But Jimmy wins games. Can Trey Lance come in and win as many games as Jimmy? Maybe
he's
not.
probably going to turn the ball over like crazy.
Right, but Jimmy can show him how to play within that system to win games, and then Trey Lance can just do it better because he's more talented. So I've been saying Trey Lance should sit until Jimmy's contract's up, but it doesn't look like 49ers or their fans want that to happen. I think they're tired of watching.
I don't see it. I don't see why.
We're not fans. I mean, I'd be kind of pissed off at Jimmy too.
Yeah,
he missed a lot of throws in the playoffs. He missed a lot.
There's a difference. See, I look at it differently. At least you got there. You know, you can be mad, but you got there. You're going to take the chance when someone who more than likely is not going to get you there.
Right. So we had the same conversation with Tua, though. They're going to make the playoffs, but Tua is not in the same caliber as the other quarterbacks in the AFC. Yeah. So are you willing to ride with a guy that's winning you games and putting you in the playoffs, even though you're not getting where you want to be and it's probably his fault? Or are you willing to just stick by him because it's not broke, don't fix it? I think the 49ers are taking my approach to where they have
see,
the
it's
roster,
kinda
Jimmy's
different
winning them games, but Trey
because
Lance can do better because he's better.
it's different just because Tua doesn't have someone there to sit behind.
Right, but and I think if you bring in, that's why I asked if he was the guy. I think.
Oh no, I mean if he's not the guy, he's got to go. In my opinion,
Right. But yeah. So to the bets, you said you got the under for Trey Lance touchdowns, 21.5, and USC winning the 9.5, winning 10 games.
Yes.
And you said you had some new ones for us.
I do. So these are full on future bets in the sense that they're just like bold predictions. So I was telling you guys beforehand, the more and more I look into it, I found another dark horse team that I think could win the NFC. I think the Minnesota Vikings are being slept on. Big fan of Kevin O'Connell, their new head coach. And I'm like all in on Dalvin and JJ this year. I think Adam Thielen's being slept on. I think it's Kirk Cousins or bust this year. I think this is it. But that coach and everyone else is fully invested behind him. So I think that offense is going to be lighting this guy up.
Oh my God.
So I have $50 on them.
What were those odds?
So the Super Bowl odds are crazy. I think they were like 4,100 or 5,100.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure I got the Vikings at $50 it was like plus 1,800 or something like that, which is insane to me because I actually think the Packers are a little overrated this year. I'm big on their backfield, but I mean, I've never seen a team keep going backwards when their quarterback is asking for wide receivers every year. It's just mind-blowing to me.
Well, the thing with that is you can't keep asking for wide receivers every year, and then you want to be the highest paid player in football.
Yeah, it makes no sense. Yeah, and he's a weird guy. And then
he's a fucking weird guy.
I don't know if you were touching on Johnny, but I think you might agree with this one. If their team is going to be successful this year, this guy's going to be the MVP. I have $100 on Russell Wilson to win MVP. I know the argument against it is how can a guy who's like 34 or 35 or something like that win the MVP? But in order to be successful in the AFC West this year, I mean, even though they have a great defense, he's going to have to turn it back a notch. So I think he's going to go all out shootout mode all season long. I'm big on Cortland Sutton, obviously Jerry Jeudy. But yeah, I have him. It's $100 at plus 1,200 to win 1,200. I'm big on Russell. I'm pretty much all in on Russell Wilson this year.
I like both of those.
Yeah, and then the last one I got, Offensive Rookie of the Year, Chris Olave, plus 1,000. I have $100 on him. I'm massive on him. Biggest reason why, the boy's a stud. He's non-fast. I think Michael Thomas is a non-factor this year. I was telling you guys I don't know anything about AK, but if that dude is somewhat suspended, I'm down on the Saints this year. I think their defense is overrated, even with the Honey Badger and whoever. But I think you talk about Dak being a garbage quarterback. I'm talking about the king of garbage is Jameis Winston, and Chris Olave is he's gonna burn. I think he's gonna be by far the top wide receiver, even over Drake London. But yeah,
Drake London's overrated. But
I think Drake London.
Do you watch Ohio State football?
Dude, I had to look into his film, and Chris Olave I didn't know he was that fast. Like
he's fast, but talent-wise, Garrett Wilson, he's one of the best receivers I think I've ever seen.
I think the difference in that though is Garrett Wilson's got receivers next to him, and they're going to be more run heavy than what I think the Saints are going to be. But I think the Falcons, the only argument I have, I don't even think it's Garrett Wilson. I think it's Drake London, and that's because there's no Calvin Ridley. They're going Cordell Patterson's their running back, who's really a receiver. They don't have a running game. I think Drake London is going to see mad volume.
Oh, I mean, it's going to help that
Kyle Pitts.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to help that they're both fucking 6'5".
Yeah, but I think Kyle Pitts had one touchdown last year. Someone's got to catch him. If it ain't him, it's Drake London.
Well, let's just say this. I'd take Jameis Winston throwing the ball 40 times over Marcus Mariota. Whatever he's doing.
Facts. I would agree.
So the Chris Olave, I actually, out of all of them, I'm pretty hyped on that one.
Yeah,
that's plus 1,200 too.
That's nice.
Yeah,
I like that one.
That's why I'm confused because I don't understand why he shouldn't be the favorite. I'm assuming because
higher for sure.
Or Michael Thomas is like, I guess looming, but let's say even if Drake London
is not a number one receiver though, like he's a slot guy. He doesn't have that build, doesn't have that route running.
Exactly, yeah. But Drake
Who,
London is the number one.
They have
offensive rookie of the
7.
year.
They have 7.
Oh, is he?
7 above him.
Drake
They
London's
have
the
Kenny
favorite.
Pickett. No, Kenny Pickett's the favorite
Yeah, I
on
mean,
Kenny
there's
DraftKings.
Pickett's
obviously
not even
there's
starting
obviously
week 1.
quarterbacks, but I'm talking about wide receiver with Drake London. It's like, yeah, that guy's gonna get full on coverage.
I
every
wouldn't
game.
bet on.
Drake London's plus
And
800.
he
He's
drops
third.
the ball like crazy too.
Yeah,
I'm not betting on Kenny Pickett. You said Drake London. Go ahead, Trent. Who's next?
Then after Drake London is Treylon Burks, Christian Watson, and Garrett Wilson.
So if it what Christian Watson could have a big year.
Yeah.
And Sky Moore, and then Chris Olave.
yeah, I'm big on Chris Olave. Very big.
God, you just said a name and I done forgot who it was. It's crazy.
You want me to go over the order again?
Yeah, dude.
Treylon
So-
Burks, maybe.
Yeah, Treylon
No,
Burks.
so-
That's who it was. That's who it was.
Okay.
Treylon Burks.
Arkansas.
Yeah, that's who. Yeah, I'm big on him. I think he's
Brees Hall's up there too.
I think he's a AJ Brown fucking lookalike. I think he can come in and do the same things AJ Brown did. But I hate Brian Tannehill, so I'm not big on him to have a good season. I think Treylon Burks is a talented receiver, and I think he could have a career in the NFL. But I'm not big on Ryan Tannehill. So Treylon Burks, I don't think there's any reason for him to be that high, especially in a run-heavy offense like that. There's no way.
I mean, I can see Watson putting up big numbers. He's got huge shoes to fill,
Mhm.
but he's going to get the targets.
Oh my
He's
god.
got
yeah.
to.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, right. Who else they throwing the ball to?
Uh,
Speaking of all this volume and who we think's rookies of the year, go ahead and talk sleepers in fantasy next season. I think everybody here's either familiar or is big into fantasy. So
Yeah,
let's
I don't
go
even
ahead.
know if I want to give these out since I'm going to be taking y'all's money this year. You know what I mean?
Stop
I
it.
think
Yeah.
everyone in here is playing in the league. So, but I'll start it off.
But here's my thing:
running.
if everybody here's playing in the league, everyone here's got their own sleepers. So don't take mine, and
That's
I won't
true.
take yours,
All
motherfucker.
right, let me go first.
Ooh.
Running back, didn't necessarily say
you say
sleepers.
Najee Harris, don't do it.
No quarterback. No
No.
quarterback.
No.
Yeah,
I'm
you're starting
starting
running back. Starting running back, not
Okay,
quarterback.
okay.
Okay.
With Chase Edmonds this year. I like him. Quarterback, I'm going with Jameis Winston. Numbers wise, I think he's going to put up big numbers. Receiver, I said it's not really a sleeper, but Jerry Jeudy, I think we all agreed that he's going to have a pretty big year.
Yeah, as far as sleepers, I'd say no, but as far as breakout years,
Right.
100%.
So that's how I was
He
kind of like
I
viewing
think
it
his
a little
I don't
bit.
know what his ADP is right now, but he'll be higher than whatever the fuck it is. Promise you that.
Tight end, another similar thing. OJ Howard, I think him on the Bills this year. I see him having a big year.
That's actually a decent
And-
sleeper because he's a shit fantasy
Yeah.
tight end. Yeah, all this
Um,
hype for the last couple years. He ain't never done nothing.
And this wasn't either a sleeper either, but I'm rocking with the Steelers. Every fantasy league I'm in, we just rocking with that.
You just
You're
rocking
the
with
only
that.
one. Yeah.
So
Big
hold on, you
things,
said-
baby.
You said
Big
Chase
things.
Edmonds at running back?
Yeah, I think he's about to go crazy.
Okay.
My running back was out all last year, but averaged 6.2 yards of carry.
Okay.
Yeah, J.K. Dobbins, you know what I'm saying? Baltimore's going to run the fuck out of the
Yeah.
football, and he's going to be
I actually
number one guy running the football.
I actually like that a lot because as far as he's got the most talent in the world, and as far as sleepers are, a lot of people wouldn't say it, but you guys, your backfield is so interchangeable with him and Gus Edwards that he doesn't see the volume as some of these
Exactly.
like Jonathan Taylors and Derrick Henry see. I like that
Yeah.
pick because he's gonna do it for you.
Trent and myself were the same with Winston. Yeah, I mean, he's going to turn the ball over, but he's going to be throwing the fuck out of the football.
For
Also.
sure.
He's
So,
definitely
yeah,
gonna
and
throw the
he's,
fuck out of
as
it.
long as they're healthy, he's got the weapons too.
All right.
Kamara's catching the ball out of the backfield. Olave's your slot guy. You got if he's healthy, Michael Thomas and Jarvis Landry. Receiver, I'm with you on. I mean, I'm gonna say he's a sleeper too because we really didn't see him last year, Jerry Jeudy.
I got to make sure I got picked before you. I can't be having that.
I'm telling you,
You know what
Jerry
I mean?
Jeudy. I don't see how he doesn't put up at least 1,400 yards next year.
Yeah, he's about to go.
I think the only way he doesn't is because the Tyler Lockett of that team ends up being Cortland Sutton.
Yeah.
I think Jerry Judy's could be that intermediate, whether his deep ball is the pretty thing about his game, and I think that's gonna be more Cortland Sutton, Tim Patrick. Like, I think they're gonna be.
Tight end, I got TJ Hawkinson.
Okay.
I like Hawkins.
I mean, I've been big on this guy since he was back at Iowa. Just a big target. Does everything good. Defense, I'm coming right back to Baltimore with it. You know what I mean?
Homebody as motherfucker.
Yeah. Baltimore's always got a solid defense. I mean,
That's
why
fact.
not?
And your defense is finally healthy again. I'd be excited if I was a Baltimore fan. What about you, Ant?
I guess mine are really sleeping then compared to your guys's, but
That's kind of. I'm literally looking at mine like, damn, I should have.
yeah. So I think Johnny. More and more I hear from Johnny. He's a big Ohio State guy. So my quarterback, I think he actually takes and stuns people and takes a huge second-year leap. But their team as a whole keep them from playing behind. I'm big on Justin Fields this year.
Bro, no shot.
Yeah.
That
So
was
I think
mine.
Justin Fields is gonna. I think fantasy-wise, not quarterback-wise.
No.
I think fantasy-wise, he's going to be a top 10 quarterback. I think it might be 10 points-wise. And then running back, this is debatable, but this is what I think this is more or less biased. I think Devin Singletary is my running back sleeper of the year. Him and Miles Sanders a little bit. Devin
I love
Singletary.
Miles
I'll break
Sanders
this
said,
down for you.
Miles Sanders says, don't pick me up at fantasy football.
Says that every year. But with Devin Singletary, he's a touchdown machine. Their team's a top 3 team in the league. So he's only going to get more and more carries. I know Dalvin Cook's little brother, what's his name?
James
Cook. He ain't built to be a 120 carry running back. I don't know if you guys know this. Devin Singletary is top 5 in eluded tackles for favorable situations. I think he'll get the bulk of the carries, targeting him in the 7th, 8th round. You can't beat it. He's going to be your third running back. He ain't going to be your second. And then wide receiver wise, I'll go to Baltimore. So Johnny will be kind of happy. I think we're about to see a monster season in Rashad Bateman.
Yeah.
He didn't get really to show out last year. He was hurt. He was still a rookie, second-year leap. And Lamar Jackson targets his number 1 wide receivers like it's nothing. Them and Mark Andrews. No Marquise Brown. Rashad Bateman wins
receiver.
Yeah, Bateman wins in all 3 levels. This ain't a little speedster. This dude's going to move the chain.
Yeah, people don't realize, like, coming out the year he came out, he was the top receiver out of the Big Ten.
Big body out of Minnesota. This is I think people are sleeping on this boy. And then tight end wise, I'll match him up with Justin Fields, Cole Kmet. Second season with his boy Fields. He was actually, I don't know if you guys know this, he was top 6 or he was top 12 tight end. I actually have him pushing for a top 6 tight end. I think 800 plus yards, double-digit touchdowns is capable for the man. And then my defense was between Baltimore and the Chargers. I'm actually big on the Chargers this year. Big free agent signing J.C. Jackson. They signed some big boys down on the defensive line. You got Bosa, Derwin James. I mean,
the only reason I'd stay away from that defense is just because they got
the AFC West.
They got to play that division.
Yeah.
That'd be the only reason I stayed away. I like those picks though. I'm mad you took Justin Fields. I didn't think anybody else was going to pick him fantasy wise. I'm going to do quarterback last. I want to think of a different one, so I'll go the same one as you. My running back, though, not much of a sleeper. Travis Etienne. Didn't play last season. James Robinson's hurt. I think he has a baller season this year. I think they run the ball.
Quarterback is his best friend, too.
Yeah, I think they run the ball a lot more. I think they kind of try to ease Trevor in. They try to throw him into it. It didn't work. I think this season they come in, run first. My wide receiver is Rondale Moore. I think with D-Hop being out for 6 weeks with PED suspension. 6 weeks PED suspension. I think Rondale Moore kind of fills in that Christian Kirk absence. I think he'll push 1,000 yards, maybe more, with D-Hop being out for as long as he is. Swiss Army knife. They can get the ball in the backfield. They do wide receiver screens with him. I like him in PPR format. Tight end, brought it up earlier. Carson Wentz loves his tight ends. Absolutely loves his tight ends. So Logan Thomas, I don't know what he's projected at, but I'd assume he's probably projected like 7th, 8th tight end. So not a huge sleeper. But I think this man could be a top 4 fantasy tight end this year. I think he'll be producing way higher than his ADP because Carson Wentz is his quarterback, and that man loves tight ends.
I can't see that. I mean, I know for sure 3 guys are going to get targeted more than that. Darren Waller, that frame.
Kelsey.
I mean,
Yeah,
I mean,
Kelsey,
I would.
you
Kittle.
know Lamar's throwing to fucking Mark
Kittle.
Andrews. Yeah. I could see maybe not, but for sure, Kelsey. Those three for sure are going to get more targets.
So my only thing with Darren Waller is Darren Waller's biggest fantasy value has been the fact that he gets targeted 10 to 12 times a game. He's not getting those targets. Devontae Adams is there. Those targets are gone. At least bare minimum cut in half. So now you have a guy who was getting 10 to 12 targets, finishing at tight end 4, getting 5 to 6 targets. I think Darren Waller has his worst fantasy year yet. I don't think he scores a lot of touch. Like I said, it's volume for him. He has 12 targets or he has 2 targets. Like, and he's not going to have 12 target games anymore with Devontae Adams down. So I think knock him down.
Mark Andrews.
Mark Andrews is
He's
always
going
going
to
to be up
be
there.
yeah.
Always. Travis Kelce's always going to be there. George Kittle to me is the best all around tight end.
Yeah.
But again, I'm not worried about
Lance.
the 49ers passing attack. Like, I'm not worried about that. George Kittle he'll break a couple games off, but I think Logan Thomas will consistently give you your points. Consistently.
Yeah,
And like I said, I'm not
I
saying he's gonna be
wouldn't
top
put him
3.
up.
I said
Hawkinson's
4.
gotta
I
be
said
up
4 to
there.
5. I said 4 to 5. I didn't say top 3.
Yeah.
And like I said, I don't have Darren Waller having a great fantasy this year. I'm staying away from Darren Waller this year, personally. Defense, my defensive fantasy sleeper is literally a sleeper because their defense is underwhelming, and it's the Eagles defense. I think like I said, they're bringing that Baltimore style offense in to where they can eat the clock up, hold the ball for 35, 40 minutes a game. If you have the ball that long, the team doesn't, so you don't give up points, period. So that's my defense. Quarterback, I think we're all on the same page here. So mine was Justin Fields for the same reasons you said, and I think they're behind a lot of games. I think he's talented enough. I think they will get him outside the pocket more. He'll have a better rushing upside. And I think he just performs fantasy-wise. But I'm going to go with Jared Goff. I think they're putting weapons around him. I think the Lions are a better team than people are giving them credit for. And I think they're in more games than they're out of, which just gives him more opportunity to throw the ball. I'm huge on Amon-Ra St. Brown. They're going to have Jameson Williams. I'm big.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I agree with it. They're not good, but
and DeAndre Swift is a great back.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I think
they beat the Steelers last year. It took the Ravens, Justin Tucker hitting the longest field goal in NFL history for the Ravens to beat them. I mean, they're good enough to be in games.
Yeah. I just so you took Justin Fields. I'll go ahead and throw Jared Goff in there. I don't know where he's going, but I could see a decent year out of Jared Goff.
I like it.
I thought he was not going to have a good year. Trubisky, that guy sucks.
Yeah, I don't know why Kenny Pickett's favorited to be rookie of the year. I don't think he starts week 1.
Me either.
They're gonna figure it out during camp.
I don't think he starts week 1.
Definitely gonna be competition. What? Well, preseason starts in what is it? August 13th. Is that the first? Yeah.
Is it like 2 weeks?
It's like 5
3.
weeks, isn't it?
No, it's the second week of August.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah,
the Hall of
August
Fame
13th.
game.
It's right
Hall of
there.
Fame game.
Oh no.
The Donovan's hype.
Oh no.
Yes, sir.
Oh, I can't wait. We're gonna do a mid-season update on Washington. I'm just letting all the fans know that. Because I read these games off and he said there's no way y'all are starting 4-0. So when we hit that,
I just want to know how much you want to bet on that Browns game. That's what
I can't
need
wait
to
till
know.
Jacksonville knocks you off. Beat Carson Wentz twice in a row.
And then
What do
this
you mean? Maybe
man's
3
gonna
times.
just be stunned.
Jacksonville won 3 games last year. They beat the Colts twice last year.
Jesus.
Yeah, so
You.
everyone's blowing that last game of the season out. One, Indianapolis hasn't beaten Jacksonville in 5 fucking years. So relax. And Jacksonville beat them in the beginning of the season. So it wasn't
ain't no relax. They suck at football, and your quarterback lost them.
it's
twice.
not the okay. So win-loss is a quarterback stat and a quarterback stat alone.
Whenever they talk about wins and losses, you see the quarterback's picture up there, don't you?
No,
Right.
when I think about the Ravens Super Bowl,
No, I didn't ask you what
say-
you think about. I said when they talk about wins.
No,
and
I
losses,
saw Ray Lewis. I saw Ed Reed.
You didn't. You
Yeah,
saw
I didn't see
Flacco.
Joe fucking
Yes, you
Flacco.
did, because him and Harbaugh were up there for the most wins throughout 7 years as a quarterback and coach duo.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying. We're beating Jacksonville. Carson's got to get some shit off his chest. I do like that they kind of bodied up all these games on Carson this year. We brought him in. He's got to play the team that knocked him out of the playoffs last year. He's got to play the team that got rid of him twice. And he gets to play the team got rid of him last year at home.
It's gonna make it quite spicy.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
We got some big revenge games this year. I'm fucking with it.
I hope it's some revenge for y'all. Because I don't want you getting on here being in a bad mood. You know what I mean? I gotta look at you in the face.
Our minimum for me is 10. Our peak this season is 13. You know what I'm saying?
Here we go.
Here for it.
You're not wanting no.
The
fucking
bias
13
is
games.
coming out, baby. Wait till we
Shout out Pops. Pops said 11, man. Yeah, we gotta have a talk. We gotta have a discussion.
Wait until we start 4-0, and I'm just out here talking undefeated. It's gonna be a crazy time for the podcast, man.
It'll be a cold day in hell before you guys start out 4-0.
Hey, you know what we talked about with these Washington fans, how they're like delusional? This is a prime example. Prime example.
Yeah, no, I'm more biased. Like I said, I have hope. And I'm not trying to hear it, Trent. You literally said the Steelers were gonna win 9 games. There ain't no fucking way. Your roster is terrible.
We will.
Your roster is
We
dog
will,
shit.
bro. All right, man. Hey,
Your
defense
your
is
quarterback literally can't even hold a
gonna
football
do some things.
over the laces. His hands are so small.
You don't know who our quarterback is, so just
Well,
wait till week 1.
It's either the guy that the Bears got rid of.
Look at his numbers.
Terrible.
Look at his numbers, though. I'm not big on him. I'm not big on him, but if he can put up numbers in Chicago, not wins, but if he can put up numbers,
He won in Chicago. His
not
numbers
mad
were
at
ass.
his numbers weren't that bad.
He won games, so if his numbers weren't bad, why did he get cut? There's a reason for it.
It was just time. I guess it was just time.
I'm pretty sure his rookie year he went fucking 10-6. Like, I'd be willing to put money on it. His rookie year he went 10-6.
I mean, I'm not
He's
disagreeing
not good
with
at
you.
football. Period.
Right. The Steelers
That's
aren't going
Johnny's
to go
spirit.
500, and it's going to be Trent's fault. Period. I'm biased, but you got the Steelers going 500. Do you think the Steelers go 500, Ant?
Steelers?
Yeah.
No.
No shot.
I think
Flop.
they got 0-2 against Baltimore and Cincinnati.
So you're 0-4 in the division.
And if Deshaun
you-
Watson plays,
and let's be
Deshaun
honest,
Watson
if the
plays,
Ba-
you guys go 0-2 as well. I think
That's what
you
if
guys don't wanna-
the Browns are
Yeah.
beating Washington, they're smacking Pittsburgh. So you going 0-6 in the division, it sounds like.
We'll see.
You know, like the Browns aren't going to be good without Deshaun Watson, but I promise they still split with Pittsburgh at
Oh,
least.
yeah.
We're gonna
guys get
split
1-1.
with y'all.
No,
No.
you're not. Unless you're
Shut
playing
We
us.
did,
Unless
we did
you're playing
last
us-
year, and you lost money.
Unless you're playing us week 17 and Baltimore's resting, no chance.
I
That's a
agree.
lot. A lot of good things we get to see this season. I can't
believe you called
wait.
me biased, but had the Steelers going above 500. but I'm
Mike
biased.
Tomlin has never finished a season below 500.
He's had a Hall of Fame
Speaks for
quarterback his
itself.
whole career.
Big Ben was not Hall of Fame caliber the past 2-3 years. I'm not hearing that.
Yeah.
I don't care how you want to spin it. It does not matter.
He-
Yeah,
okay,
but
so
that just being in the locker room.
when I look at Mike Tomlin's
I'll give
career
you
as a
that.
head coach, and then I see that his whole time has been spent with a Hall of Fame quarterback, and now he's going from Hall of Fame to Mitch the Bitch or Kenny
I bet you-
Smallhands.
Bet you either one of them could have played better than Ben did the past couple of years.
Maybe.
How
But that's
how,
still
Not a
different.
maybe.
And
how can
No,
you
not a
say,
maybe.
how
That's
can you
still
say that?
different in
Kenny
the locker
Pickett,
room.
Kenny
Bro,
Pickett,
look
Kenny
what Big
Pickett
Ben
was playing in college, and Mitch wasn't playing anywhere.
Look what Ben was doing, bro. Come on.
Ben
Don't do
led y'all
that.
to the playoffs.
Don't do that. Come on.
no. The Raiders led them to the playoffs.
Ben led y'all to the playoffs.
Our defense saved our ass. I don't know how many games, bro. Come on.
So you're saying
Like I
Mitch
said-
Trubisky is gonna have a better season than Ben did? last
I'm
year?
not saying that. I'm a believer in our group, what we have going on in the locker room, everything. I like it as a whole. I'm a believer and I'm a fan, so I can't sit here and say,
Right.
you know what I mean?
But you called me biased, but you're a fan.
I'm not being biased. Look at
Well,
look at
you
the
are
numbers.
biased.
You kind
Look at
of
the
are
numbers.
just because you did just say I guarantee those two guys on your roster now would have played better than Ben Roethlisberger did these past few
I
years.
believe that.
So
believe that.
that basically what Donovan's saying is you're saying Trubisky's going to put up better numbers than Ben did last year. Yeah, it has to be what you're saying.
Yeah, if he's better,
I think he's going to produce more wins. That's what I think.
So
But
you're a playoff team.
You got okay. So hold on. He's gonna give you more wins. Ben gave y'all 9 last year, so y'all getting 10 wins now. If he's giving you more wins,
I don't know. I guess I
See,
can't even say that.
stop,
But
stop.
but
You're
he'll
hyped
put
because your quarterback went from a Hall of Fame quarterback, mind you, declining to Mitch Trubisky. But I'm not allowed to be excited when I went from Taylor Heineke to Carson. Like I can't be excited.
I'm not happy about the quarterback though. I just like our defense. I'm sold on our defense.
I think
Okay,
I
well,
think on
see.
paper we're better than you.
Maybe, but
And you guys winning 9. So me saying 10 shouldn't be blasphemy.
I said
well,
I had you guys at 9 too, didn't I?
We're better than you, Trent. That's
I
what
think
I'm
we're on
trying
the
to
same
explain to
level.
you.
I think we're on the same level.
Trent did turn away when you said about them getting 10 wins. You're not completely against Washington getting 13, which is crazy.
Who's not completely against that?
You
Me?
You said I could see us getting 13.
Nah, bro, that was
No.
cap. That was straight bias. That was cap. I was just doing that for the fans. That was cap. Like I said, we need to win 10. Realistically, our worst season, you guys said was our worst season we could do is 9 wins. For me,
8.
that's the worst we could stop. That's the worst we could do is 9. The best we could do is
So you might really be upset this season then. If that's
bro, what? Yes. But and like I said, we could completely fail. But if every team could fail, you know what I mean? You don't know what's going to happen. Everybody could get heartbroken. You look at the Bills when they went 4 straight Super Bowls. I guarantee you every time they went back, they thought they was going to win that motherfucker. You know what I mean? But I just look at it. I think the best we do is 11-6. And that's why I said that's my prediction. I'm a fan. I'm hopeful that's the best we could possibly do. That's what I'm hoping for.
You just brought that Bills team up. You know, something crazy. A kid I played basketball against in high school is engaged to Jim Kelly's daughter.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, that shit's wild.
Tell him to ask what that feels like.
Yeah.
God, imagine that. Imagine the heartache. Imagine how bad it feels after the 3rd one. And then you get there to that 4th one. And you're like, this is finally my year. God damn. Fucking Jim Kelly.
4 in a row.
Couldn't be me. But I can't believe Trent called me biased. What's more unrealistic? Us getting 10 wins or the Steelers getting 9?
Well, I mean,
you're not getting 13. That's all I'm saying.
Here's the thing.
Shut up.
Here's the thing, Skip.
I meant to bring that up today too. I didn't.
The Steelers getting 9 is more realistic now because Deshaun Watson's likely to not play. If he's playing, y'all could get swept across the board. Period.
You're talking about, baby.
Y'all would get swept.
You know, y'all gonna put some respect on it this year. That's all I gotta say. Come talk to me week 17. I'm keeping the same energy, dog.
I mean, now they're getting 2 wins there.
1. They're going 1-5 in the division.
Yeah.
They're gonna lose to Jacoby Brissett.
I wouldn't be mad at it.
I'd be ecstatic about it. I couldn't wait. I can't wait for that episode.
I won't hop on another pod ever again. We're talking about that.
All right, that was it for episode 9. We appreciate y'all tuning in. Thank Ant again for coming back on with us.
Yeah,
Hopefully
big dog.
Appreciate you,
Yes,
bro.
sir.
We have to keep you coming.
Appreciate
around.
the locks.
Hell yeah.
Keep dropping them questions, y'all.
Till next time.